We are pulling the sled here on Big East Shoot-Around from Storrs, Connecticut. John Fanta with you outside Gampel Pavilion ahead of a huge Big East doubleheader to come on FS1 at 6:30 Eastern Time. It's Villanova and Xavier, a top 20 matchup from a sold-out Cintas Center as the Musketeers are looking for revenge after the Wildcats beat them with a strong second half just 3 weeks ago. Then, following that one, it's two old-school Big East teams from the start of this conference, St. John's and Connecticut, for the 65th meeting between the Red Storm and the Huskies. That comes at you 8:30 Eastern Time on FS1 right here from Gampel, where UConn is looking to bounce back from an epic game on Saturday, a 90-87 defeat to Seton Hall, in which the Huskies showed quite a bit just how strong they can be as a group. Seton Hall just getting the better of them. Meanwhile, this Red Storm team, 1-1 in the Big East, powered by Julian Champagnie, who had that huge 34-16 game last week for the Johnnies. But they're coming off a loss at Providence. We'll get to keys in a little bit. We'll welcome on Xavier head coach Travis Steele for a one-on-one on how this Musketeers team has gotten off to a 12-2 start on the season. But let's get to the headlines. Number 1. Number 14, Villanova. Number 17, Xavier. This is a heavyweight bout tonight, folks. You think about the Villanova Wildcats winning 4 straight games, and it really started 22 short days ago when they were down 38-30 at the half to Xavier. It was then that the Wildcats fired up their defense. They held Xavier without a 3-point field goal in the second half. And you know what else they did? The Wildcats defended the interior. Jack Nungy and Zach Fremantle combined for just 12 points in that game. I think they'll need 20-plus combined tonight if Xavier's going to pull it off. You need size and physicality to go up against the Wildcats. Will Xavier reverse the script? A lot of people believe this Musketeers team could be special. Tonight is a move-the-needle opportunity. It's a quadrant 1 game, and Villanova has owned this series overall. Wildcats 31, Xavier 6. Can the Musketeers make a resounding statement? We'll see this evening. Number 2, St. John's. How do they respond from the loss to Providence? They're going to need better interior defense because the Connecticut Huskies were guided by the star sophomore Adama Sanogo. 18-16 at Seton Hall on Saturday. A very impressive performance for the sophomore star. And for the UConn Huskies, this is a team that when they find perimeter shooting, they really are dangerous to face. 14 three-pointers on Saturday. They're one of the top three-point shooting teams by percentage in the Big East. That's very interesting. What I look at with this game is, can St. John's get stops? They're outside the top 100 in KenPom adjusted defense. You've got to defend if you're going to beat UConn on their home court. So the UConn Huskies, they're allowing around 64 points per game. St. John's allowing about 10 more than that. That's got to change tonight for Mike Anderson's team. They have enough scoring with Champagnie, with Posh Alexander, now with a suddenly hot Dylan Adewusu. The Johnnies are going to need to package defense. They got to bring it with them from New York. Headline number 3, the Marquette Golden Eagles are coming on, and they're showing what it means in the Big East. You have to have short memory. Marquette starts 0-3 in conference play. A couple of heartbreaking losses, one to Xavier, one to Creighton, in which they were right on the cusp, one to these Connecticut Huskies. But they've answered with 3 straight wins. They found balance with Daryl Morcell, the Maryland transfer, with Justin Lewis, a sophomore who has come on, with Tyler Kolek, another sophomore who plays the point guard for them and plays it well. And how about the fact that Greg Elliott had the career-high 25 points last night as Marquette defeated DePaul? The Golden Eagles are getting on the radar in the NCAA tournament picture. Saturday brings a big opportunity when they welcome in Seton Hall at noon Eastern Time on FS1. We'll get to the best of the best from the all-access game between Marquette head coach Shaka Smart, DePaul head coach Tony Stubblefield in a little bit. You are not going to want to miss the sights and sounds of last night's FS1 broadcast. It was some must-see TV. Let's get to our conversation today. A one-on-one with Xavier head coach Travis Steele. Travis, you're in a position where at 12-2 on the season, you have had 7 different leading scorers in a game this year. What's that tell you about your team?
We have elite depth. Now, I've said it before, obviously we always have to put 5 guys out there to start, but we have more than 5 starters. I mean, Adam Kunkel, Dwan Odom, Deontay Miles, Jack Nunge, any of those guys could start. And again, I think that's the advantage that we have. Our guys understand it's going to be different guys, different nights. We're going to ride the hot hand, whoever that is that night. And that's the advantage that our team has. I think we have the best depth in the entire country.
On Wednesday, it will have been 22 days since you met Villanova at the Finneran Pavilion. You led that game by 8 at the half, and Villanova outscores you 41-20 in the final 20 minutes. What did you learn about that night that you need to apply to the rematch?
I think first and foremost, it's a game of discipline. You have to be able to value each possession, and that starts with taking care of the ball. And I thought in the second half we turned the ball over. We had some careless turnovers, and then we took bad shots. Villanova's going to switch 1 through 5. They're going to be very physical without fouling. They do a great job of it. We still have to drive the ball and post the ball after movement. We can't just start holding the ball and playing ISO ball. That's not advantage Xavier.
How vital is the duo of Jack Nunge and Zach Freemantle to this matchup?
Huge. I think obviously we have an advantage with size with those 2 guys and skill. And we want to play through those guys in the post, on the perimeter, all over the floor with their shooting. I think they're mismatch guys. And we got to be able to utilize that, knowing that Villanova's going to front. That's what they do. Can we use that against them? And I think that's really important. So we have to know where to look and then just make the right play out of it.
You think about the Big East since the reconfiguration of the league in 2013, and these are the 2 teams who possess the regular season championships. Villanova's been a co-champion with other teams. You, as a program, won it a couple of years ago. So Villanova Xavier, what has it become in this conference?
Obviously, Villanova is a tremendous program. I mean, they are. There is not only here in the Big East, but they've won 2 national titles in the last 5 years. I think they're the premier program in the entire country. We got a ton of respect for them, but this is a great battle. Listen, they got a great program. Xavier's had a great program for a long, long time, winning programs. And I think it starts with both schools' leadership, right? You look at, up to the president level, to the athletic directors. Both places win for a reason because they're really invested and they don't cut any corners short.
What is the thing, Travis, that has perhaps surprised you about your team to this point?
I think, just keeping everybody on the ship, John. I think it's so hard, because I think everybody's going to tell our guys, hey, listen, you deserve to start. You deserve more points, more shots, more minutes. And I keep on telling guys, listen, fellas, it's at the end of the day, it's just all about winning. And if we keep the main thing, then we got a chance to be pretty dang good, because we do have great depth. But with great depth can become some jealousy that where you start fighting each other. And we have not had any of that in our locker room. And I give our guys a lot of credit for that. Just keeping the main thing. Our guys are all about winning.
There's a great exemplification of that story. In the preseason, you are having discussions with your players, and if I'm correct, Dwan Odom actually discussed this very matter with you, right?
He did. He texted me. He said, Coach, I don't care about starting. He said, I just want to win. I'll play whatever role you want me to play. And when you hear that from your players, and I've had that conversation with Jack Nunge, very, very similar. He said, Coach, I don't care about starting. And it just goes a long ways, because, again, it takes great sacrifice in order to win, and especially in this league, right? Again, because if you have any selfishness at all to you, you're not going to win in this league. There's too good of coaches and too good of players.
We are ready for the Big East Championship. And you can feel the intensity in the building.
Let's go.
How about that? The red storm starting exclamation point. Villanova. He willed that one to the cup. Hello. How do you do?
And that will do it. We thank Travis Steele again for the time. A big night for his Musketeers at what should be a rocking Cintas Center with Villanova in town. Now let's turn to this St. John's team. The Red Storm 1-1 in Big East play. Off that lengthy COVID pause, splitting their action last week. The win over DePaul with Julian Champagne's heroics. And then a loss to Providence at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. Certainly no shame in that, where Providence has not lost this season. Here's the thing, though, with the Johnnies. They're 9-4 overall. Their net ranking is 107. What does that mean? They've packaged together wins, but they're still waiting for that marquee victory. Here's the beauty of playing in the Big East this season. You will get resume opportunities. 5 of the next 6 games for the St. John's Red Storm are Quadrant 1 opportunities for this team. Now, playing at Gampel Pavilion against the UConn Huskies, certainly challenging. But get this. The Johnnies have won 4 of the last 5 meetings over the Huskies, including a win over UConn last year on Martin Luther King Jr. Day that started to get the nation taking St. John's quite seriously. We know what their success starts with. It's a dynamic New York duo that is proud to play in their city. I'm talking about Julian Champagnie and Posh Alexander. It is great to be with the reigning Big East Freshman of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year in the conference, the Brooklyn native Posh Alexander, the point guard for the St. John's Red Storm. Posh, as you get ready for your second year here with the Johnnies, the expectations high, there's a buzz in the air in New York City. Just first and foremost, how much of it has been a match for you between growing up in New York and now playing for St. John's?
Growing up in New York, yeah, it was just kind of big, but, now playing for St. John's is it's a pleasure, where I'm coming, where I grew up from as a Brooklyn kid. It was a tough neighborhood, and now getting the opportunity to play for a D1 school like St. John's is just a blessing. Tell me about
encountering Posh Alexander, 6th grade AAU basketball.
It was fun. I hadn't known too much about him prior to that, but meeting him for the first couple of times and playing with him, practicing with him, working out with him, it was fun. He's kind of the same kid I met back then that he is now. He's a lot better, but the same. He jokes around a lot. He's super cool to hang around with. He's really like a brother to me, honestly.
I think it's interesting because you're one of many different New York guys that are on the roster, and I understand you go way back with Julian Champagnie, back to 5th, 6th grade AAU days. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's my guy. We played against each other in a tournament called New York versus New York. I've been New Junior for a long time. I went to go visit him in school when he was at Lockland. That's like a brother to me, like a brother to me, like a real brother to me.
The dynamic there of when he's the same guy, you're the same guy, you guys are both New York guys, and now you get to do it here at St. John's. You get to do it at Carnesecca. You get to do it inside Madison Square Garden. How much of a storybook is that?
In my opinion, I think it's a big storybook, but it's something we don't really think about too much. We don't really talk about it too much either. Honestly, I think it's kind of I know you know me. We know each other for a long time now, so let's just continue to build on that. And I think it shows us with our chemistry on the court, so it's fun. Honestly, to say the least, I don't think about it too much, but when I do think about it, I enjoy playing with him. I enjoy that.
Johnny's in action with the Huskies. That'll come after Xavier Villanova on FS1, a full doubleheader tonight. And last night, we were treated to all access, commercial-free, inside the huddles, inside the locker rooms. You got to see things as the players were seeing them, to hear them as well. And we even got an inside look at some Marquette dance moves, which were pretty impressive after that win over DePaul. It was the annual FS1 Big East Hoops All-Access game between Marquette and DePaul. Tony Stubblefield, the first-year head coach of the Blue Demons, and Shaka Smart, the first-year head coach of the Golden Eagles, mic'd up. Here's some of the best of the best.
How bad do we want it? Well, they're in that matchup, so they'll probably trade them off. I like what you're doing right now. Toughness is being able to get a stop. That's toughness. When Freeman Liberty comes off, we're going to impact that screen, okay? Keep your composure. Play the game. I appreciate the 2 before, though. All right? I'll take 2 for 3. Defense. that's the only way they're going to give themselves a chance to win the game. We got to have the mental capacity to be able to defend, man, without fouling, and it got to mean something, man. Guys, we rebound, we win. It's not going to be easy. I told you it wasn't. Okay, give them nothing easy right here. Win this next round, so they got no hope. We got to get stops. Stay connected, my man. You got Freeman Liberty. He's looking to get his game off, okay, at the end of the game. We ain't allowing it. Good game, baby. Best of luck to you now. Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
We're wrapping things up here from Stores by looking ahead at the Big East Hoops schedule. On Thursday, another FS1 doubleheader as it will be Seton Hall paying a visit to DePaul. The Pirates 2-2 in Big East play, ranked top 20 in the country, and they start their Midwest road swing. Then after that one, it's two teams that are in need of a win. Jack and Blue getting together as well as Georgetown welcomes in Butler. Looking ahead to the weekend as well, Saturday, noon Eastern time, two meaningful games. Over on Fox, it will be Creighton paying a visit to Xavier. That's a great opportunity for the Blue Jays. They've had some COVID misfortunes by being on the wrong end of things with some game cancellations. They're supposed to play Providence on Tuesday night, that game getting knocked off. So for the Jays, they've had time to prepare. Can they piece it together for what would be a statement-making road win? And for Xavier, they continue a big home week. Musketeers are deep, folks. 7 players averaging 7.5 points per game or more. Over on FS1, it'll be Marquette hosting Seton Hall. Love the versatility of Jared Rhoden for the Pirates and Justin Lewis for the Golden Eagles. They make things happen as the Pirates will continue a big road week. And for Marquette, a Q1 opportunity at the Fiserv Forum. On Sunday at noon Eastern time, Butler will visit Villanova on FS1, and then spend your wild card weekend with a little Big East basketball mixed in. Because after Tom Brady and the Bucks take on the Eagles, I know you Eagles fans in our part of the country are looking for an upset win. You've got St. John's and Georgetown. It is college basketball, and it'll be inside Madison Square Garden, 4:30 Eastern time with Tim Brando and Jimmy Jackson, the All-American. That'll be on Fox this Sunday. For our producer, Bobby Mullen, Ben Piasek, Rick Gentile back in Holly, I'm John Fanta saying so long from Brisk Stores. Get on the couch, have some popcorn, and enjoy the night of Big East Hoops.